There has been an update on the Oceangate disaster. That rhymes. Update on the Oceangate disaster. So Netflix is apparently putting something out about this. I don't know if they're even going to let us react to this trailer, but let's see.
Thanks, Chris.
This never before heard audio recording of Oceangate CEO Stockton Rush firing an employee concerned about their mission safety is shocking. Okay, so if you guys didn't know, Oceangate, these folks were controlling the daggone submarine on a freaking like PS2 controller or something crazy.
It was really bad.
Right?
I think it was the N64, like the old, like the three-pronged.
Yeah, just ridiculous.
Oof.
Going almost 1,000 feet underwater.
They're going to see the Titanic.
To see the Titanic, which it's like discovered 70 years after it sunk. That joint is deep in the ocean.
Yeah.
Right? And they're going underwater on a flimsy boat that they made, and shocker, tragically, this thing imploded.
It disappeared.
And then, they're all gone.
Exactly.
Vaporized. They said the amount of pressure vaporized these folks. Super sad situation. I think there was a father-son on there together.
Mm-hmm. Billionaires.
Yeah, I don't. Man. You know, this is where you start, you just run out of fun things to do, so you just start doing dangerous stuff.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Go skydiving first or something.
I'm good. I've gone skydiving. I wouldn't go again.
You gone skydiving?
Yeah, Prey.com was just talking to me about going skydiving again. They're like, we're jumping out the airplanes with the Navy SEALs.
Why do people want to lose, Like, what is there, like, you got nothing to lose that you can jump out of an airplane for fun?
I've jumped out of an airplane. It is fun, but I'm good. Like, I got it. I got it.
You get it.
I get it.
Like, all right.
I'm good. All right, let's check out this trailer.
Why test something with people in it? I don't understand that. To me, it was just sheer arrogance. I don't want anybody in this company who is uncomfortable with what we're doing.
What?
So that's the owner. I don't want anyone in this company.
Was in the boat, wasn't he?
He was. So at least he stood on business.
Yo.
Right? Like, at least he's not setting people down, something he wouldn't do. That's a true servant leader right there.
Why? No, that's an idiot leader.
Yeah, it is.
Why would you? What?
What doing?
Hold on. It couldn't have been that much more complicated to go above and beyond and make sure this thing was safe.
Yeah, just go like
you're already charging hundreds of thousands of dollars you have an amazing clientele list of very wealthy people. You could have figured this out.
Wow, Dreamer just said conspiracy is the CEO was actually. Ooh,
that wouldn't surprise me.
That's dark.
And I am definitely out of the mold. There's no question. I'm doing things that are completely non-standard. And I'm sure the industry thinks I'm an idiot. That's fine. They've been doing that for 8 years. And I'm going to continue on the way I'm doing, but I'm not going to force people to join my religion if they don't want to.
But okay, fine. You don't want people to work for you if they don't want to, or quote unquote join your religion, which is a weird
way of saying.
Weird way of saying
company.
However, I am taken aback with why you would want to take other people down with you.
Yeah, because you're kind of doing that by not letting them in on how dangerous it actually is.
Yeah,
you are forcing people to join your religion.
Right. This
feels a little culty, and in hindsight, it's a little drink the Kool-Aid-y, a little bit, right? Like that, wow.
Jonestown vibes.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know what to say, but I was blown away that at this point they were willing to play Russian roulette.
Right.
Is there a rework?
David on this crew. In my opinion, we need him here.
Can you sometimes make a decision? And I just feel that tad less angry did. What's your comment? Right, I think, to be honest with you, this is the first time on paper I've ever put any of the safety concerns I got something. Every expedition we can't give issues. But yeah, every single expedition.
Oh no.
So basically this dude's the right-hand man, and he's like, look, I have to formalize that there's health and safety concerns.
Wow.
Puts it on paper. And he's like, and then the other guy was like, well, getting all mad about him. And he's like, well, this is the first time I've done it, and we've had a problem with every single one. Like, I can't let that keep going on without documenting it. And then he says, I'm not denying that.
Props to him for attempting to help and attempting to blow the whistle. But goodness, this dude was, he seems hellbent. He seems hellbent on this.
Yeah.
Do you now want to let me go? That's the question. I don't see we have a choice.
Wow. So he ends up seemingly letting this guy go because this was the only guy that had the wherewithal to stand up to him. And what happens? The whole thing implodes. Handful of people pass away.
It's really horrible. It's really bad. But I would say there's probably a little, it's not peace. It's not the bad way of saying it, but like at least he got out of there and wasn't complicit when it actually kind of blew up in his face. And then he would have to live with that on his conscience for the rest of his life. Of like, I never said anything. I just went along with it. That sort of thing. That's heavy. But still, I mean, that's crazy. It's still people passed. And
I wonder if he could have done more to report it.
Yeah.
If he did report it. Someone asked, Susie asked, I wonder if the families of the deceased can sue. The issue is there even any assets to sue?
Oh, why? Because they're...
Well, you think this dude was running $100 million business?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
There's probably not a ton of assets to sue. Maybe there was supposed to be insurance in place that wasn't properly checking. I don't know.
I would also assume that there's probably some pretty rock solid contracts, like waivers, being like, we're not responsible for anything. It is it's probably like weird things.
To do it like, yeah, you're right.
Which is just like
safety waivers, all kinds of
crazy
stuff.
It's a skydiving waiver without decades and years of actual skydiving experience.
This is heartbreaking, bro.
Yeah.
I feel terrible for the family, but it does, I don't know if closure is the right word, but it does provide some degree of like, oh, okay, well, now we know
this was an experiment.
This was not right. And at least, I guess, there's some degree of closure. I think it's interesting this guy recorded all this stuff and documented all this stuff. I think he knew something was up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a fact.
So, man, I'm yeah.
Speaking of which,
hit him with a.
This is a sickness of the highest order.
I don't know if you guys know, but you can now watch our podcast, our full podcast, on the Spotify and the Apple Podcast app. So if you didn't know, go over there. Make sure you're following Ruslan KD and leave a review because we're really trying to drop great podcast over there with long form guests and all that sort of stuff. So make sure you're following us on the Spotify and the Apple Podcast app. All right. See you over there. I want you guys to know, Occupied Till I Come, 60-day devotional on sale. 35 days in the Old Testament, 25 days in the New Testament. This is where we actually transition into the New Testament, day 36. And what's cool about this is we have a reading that you go through. There's a verse here that kind of summarizes the reading, and then there is a additional chapter of reading with custom journal prompts at the end of each reading. So there's also a section for prayer requests. I always recommend you keep track of your prayers.